Do you ever get yourself frustrated playing sim racing because you think that if you had a better, more expensive piece of kit, it would make it more fun or you'd be faster? Well, this is me in 2015 playing on my first sim rig, a Logitech G29, and you know what? I thought I was hot stuff, but in reality, it was kind of crap. I mean, look at me driving. So this begs the question, does having more gear, more expensive stuff make your sim experience better? Are you faster? Or is it all about having all the gear and no idea? Let's find out. Fast forward to 2022 and I've got myself a new sim motor. Isn't she lovely? But is it better than having a Logitech G29? How are we going to quantify this? Well, we've got to do this in a scientific way because I am a doctor after all. And the first way we're going to do this is we're going to drive both wheels and we're going to see which is the most fun and for what reasons. And then we're going to see which one is faster. We're going to set a fastest lap time. Firstly though, let's introduce the wheels that are going to be the star of the show. And in the expensive corner, we have the Fanatec GT DD. Now this is a direct drive wheel, and as the name suggests, it's directly driven from the motor to the wheel. What that means is that you get smooth operation, you get a lot more power, 8 Newton meters of torque compared to the Logitech's 2 Newton meters. That's 4 times as much power, which it does make a difference. The other thing is that this thing is really quiet in its operation and just so damn smooth. With everything, there are some drawbacks, such as the fact that this block is so damn heavy. If you're moving this thing around, you better have some good muscles. The other issue is that because it's a direct drive wheel and so powerful, you need to find something pretty sturdy to mount it to. I've got it mounted to a Next Level Racing GT track and it does the job, but you can't just mount it to any old thing because it will flex and that will be annoying. The other problem is that this is actually relatively expensive for someone who's new to the world of sim racing. It is touted as an entry-level direct drive wheel, but if you don't have that much money and you're not sure about the hobby, it might not be something for you to jump in with straight away, or you might not feel like you could afford it. And the other issue is because they're so damn popular, these things are actually not really available online. And the ones that are on the second-hand market are pretty much the same price as ones going brand new, which kind of defeats the point. Now we're going to look at the Logitech G29, and this is holding the fort for the cheap and cheerful corner. Now, this wheel came out in 2015, and since then, it's been the entry-level champion for sim racers and general consumers alike. The cool thing about this is that it's a force feedback wheel. It is fun, and you can have a good time playing with it. It's cheap. I got this, the set of pedals, and one of these bad boys, all for $200, 200 Australian dollars, which is dirt cheap. But not all is good. Because it is cheaper, it's kind of made for more people. The materials aren't as good. They're a bit scratchy. The force feedback is quite weak. 2.2 Newton meters compared to 8 Newton meters on that thing. So there is really no comparison when it comes to the level of force feedback. Because it's a geared system, it's noisy. You can hear the gears and the cogs turning in here, and everything feels like you're just playing with a toy. So now we've gone over these two wheels. The question is, does that thing actually make you faster? And is faster better? Is better more fun? Let's find out. So now it's time to set some fast lap times. I'm going to drive with the Logitech G29. I'm going to go around Watkins Glen with the Supra in GT7. I'm going to do about 5 laps to set the fastest time I think I possibly can. And when I'm done, I'm going to do 2 laps in the Fanatec GT DD to see if I can actually catch up that quickly, to just, you know, give us a bit of a handicap. And because this is a sim racing channel now, we've got to take it seriously. Which means gloves and a helmet. Okay, just take this off. Right then, here we go. We're gonna try and talk through what this wheel feels like. Now, you know, from the get-go, if you're comparing it to the Fanatec, it does have a lot less power. You can still feel what the front wheels are doing, and I've taken that wrong, completely wrong, that line, but it's just a bit weaker. But it is giving you force feedback. You just wanna give a tiny dab on the brakes, which is hard to do, which is actually quite a good point, that the brakes and the pedals make a huge difference to the wheel that you're driving with, because it's really hard to get initially that fine braking. I like to trail brake in this game and in the sim racing games that I play, as it's the quickest way around a lot of corners. But in this, because it's based on pedal travel and not pedal force, it's harder to be consistent when you race. The problem I find with this wheel is that it can be quite notchy. There's a kind of notchy feel about it, and if you've ever used one of the Logitech G920 or G29 wheels, you will know what I'm talking about. It's a kind of like weird like clicking that you get kind of when you get to the extremes of the force. Let's see if we can set a faster lap time. So deep into that braking zone. I missed my braking zone there. We're gonna have to try that one again. Oh. There we go. Perfect. Perfect line. Everyone loves a good tryer. Ah, I just really can't feel what the front end is doing. Yes! This bit we just need to nail. And round we go. No, no you don't. No you don't. Yes! Okay. This will be our fastest lap. That is 5 laps, and we get a 1:46.206. Right then, let's set up the Fanatec GTDD and let's see if it actually saves me time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the Fanatec GTDD or CSL GT, whatever you've got. They're all very similar. And immediately I can tell you that the steering feel is phenomenal. And we're just gonna take a more of a casual lap just to get a feeler for what the wheel is like. Because after using the Logitech G29, I kind of have to get used to this again because it's immediately, oh, just bumped the wall there, so much firmer. It takes a lot more effort to turn it. And if you go straight from a G29 to the Fanatec, it can catch you by surprise because it is that much heavier. It's from a torque point of view, it's like going from a Mazda MX-5 to a Ferrari 458. It's a big jump. A lot of people may say that this wheel is not particularly powerful compared to the podium wheels and the more powerful wheels that you can get for sim racing applications. But when you're coming from an entry-level wheel, the jump is significant, which means that you will get more feel from the wheel. But what's important is how you set this thing up as well. Honestly, I think actually a big difference is the pedals and the way the pedals are set up. Well, let's go for a lap and let's see what we can do with the Fanatec. Much easier to trail brake there, even though I kind of messed up the corner, but hopefully we can crack it back because we're in a more expensive wheel, and you know, faster equals better. Maybe not. Already feel like there's more precision. I can place the car a little bit easier because there's just more feel. And we're coming up into the bus stop chicane, which is a notoriously hard corner to get right without scrubbing off too much speed. And I think we go through okay. And this is what I mean. You can really monitor the brakes much better. And I think actually this is actually highlighting a point about the pedals that is really important. People always bang on about pedals being important when you're sim racing. They really are. You can have the best wheel in the world, but if you don't have the right pedals, it is impossible to race properly and competitively because you just can't be consistent with your braking application. As you can see, we are 0.4 of seconds up on our first flying lap, which is kind of ridiculous. But will it last? It might not. It might not last, especially since I've absolutely messed up that corner, but it's okay. We will keep going. And just look at that. Wow, wow. I think that tells you all you need to know. First lap, and I'm a lot quicker. Wow. Almost a second. Okay, and then we did this. Oh my God. Okay, so I suppose that's that then. The Fanatec was clearly quicker and it's the more expensive wheel, and therefore having more expensive wheels makes you faster, but actually it's not as simple as that. I think the pedals made the biggest difference, and actually I'm just used to the Fanatec now. I'm sure somebody in the right hands will have a blast with the Logitech G29 and go just as fast, if not faster than me. Now, the whole point of this is that you can have fun with any setup that you have. I had the Fanatec recently, but I had the Logitech for a number of years, and that was a great wheel to have. So really it just depends on your budget. And the thing that is most important is just getting yourself into the sport and having a good time. And if you're interested in what my rig looks like, then you should probably watch this video where I covered it in some good detail. But stay tuned for some good stuff coming soon.